Hey guys, so Tyrande Sylvanas cinematic patch 9.1 Chains of Domination. I saw that Noble did a reaction to this, so we're gonna watch it. Um, Sad to say, I've already watched it. I didn't know if it was like major spoiler stuff, but then I saw that Noble did. I'm like, okay, it's not something that's like super far into the future, so they wanna you know, leaky, not leaky type stuff, but stuff that would give too much in story away. But so I've already seen it, and fuck. Hopefully you guys enjoy this because I know I did. But it's so awesome that I don't mind going in for seconds. So, yeah, here we go.
Tyrande, I understand you've been looking for me. Come then. Show me Elun's wrath.
Elune gave me her strength. The wrath is mine alone!
Night warrior. I expected more.
I will take your head, Banshee! Just like I took his. Sylvanas, you didn't know. Your master is keeping secrets from you! A trick. No! Eluna, it is time. Inqua Melema. At last.
And yet, the night's power wanes. Once again, she denies you victory.
Mother Moon, do not forsake me. End this.
Bask in the dying embers of your goddess's bargain, Tyrande. Nothing lasts.
Tyrande, can you hear me? Tyrande?
Whew. God, that is between two sexy females, complete badassery on both sides. But of course, at the very end, Sylvanas wins out by her plot armor because nothing is going to touch her before we take her out in the raid. So she's got huge fucking plot armor right now. Nothing can touch her. Um, but Tyrande is being powered still by Elune, the Night Warrior, whole thing going on, and so I her entrance pretty fucking dope. You see this huge monster and like, oh crap, how are we gonna freaking beat that thing? But nope, she comes in, poof, takes it out one shot because that's the power that she has right now. Okay, the fact that Sylvanas is being powered by death itself. Look how easily she was able to take out someone like Sourfang. She was able to take out Bolvar no problem because she's not just a Banshee Queen anymore. She's being powered by the Jailer or Zoval. So she's powered by death itself. So she is incredibly overpowered right now. But the fact is, Tyrande showed up and was able to match her blow for blow. And not only that, she was going to defeat Sylvanas. But like I said, due to plot armor, can't have that right now. I like when she says about Nathanos. Um, so she tries to do the same thing she did against Bolvar with the chains and everything, but she's like, nah, I'm not having any of that shit. She busts out of them like fucking badass, and then she reveals that, oh yeah, you want to know why you haven't seen the Thanos in a while? Yeah, that's because I killed him. Yeah, he's dead. Removed his head for good measure. Um, I mean, I don't know why the jailer would even bother telling her about it anyway. So, um, but Sylvanas is so when she became a banshee, she lost essentially all emotion, and really the only emotion she has is really the emotion she had when she died. Uh, but when you think about it, she is emotional. Her everything drives on her emotion. More so than others. She tries to be that cool, calculating. She tries to keep her emotions suppressed. But watch, what happens when lets her emotions get the best of her. She comes in, super enraged and she becomes even more powerful, or she'll say shit that she most likely shouldn't be saying. Scar right there that Sourfang left. She thought she had the upper hand, and she was pretty much gloating about it, and then he got a good shot on her. And what happened? She got emotional, and she showed her true colors. Um, so Sylvanas is in fact very emotional. Like I said, more so than the other characters. It's like her emotions are amplified because of the whole undead the thing going on. But saying about Nathanos, that enraged her even more. And if you're able to take it out in a raged Sylvanas, you're pretty fucking strong. But so you have um Tyrande. She's like, I'm not letting her get away. This is my chance. I can end everything right here. And she is right there on the cusp of taking Sylvanas out. But due to plot armor, right at this very moment, the Night Warrior begins to fade. The Loon's grace starts to leave Tyrande. Um, those eyes, just the eyes are so fucking amazing. And she just becomes Tyrande, and allows allows Sylvanas to get away. Of course, she leaves right after she sees Ysera flying like a badass. So here's another thing: I don't want to hear anyone ever say that there's no fucking representation of badass women. You have three badass women all in one fucking scene, and I don't want to hear anyone saying that I don't like women or anything like that. You have three badass fucking women right here. I love each of their characters. Tyrande, not so much. I mean, they really kind of destroy her character. I love Ysera. I love Sylvanas. But right now, Tyrande is a complete fucking badass. Great characters. They're greatly written. Freaking the voice acting for all of them. I like Patty Mattson as Sylvanas. Just that it sounds like Sylvanas is actually getting younger, almost. Maybe because she's doing more whispering than having to yell and all that. At least in here, because she's doing a lot more whispering. But three women, completely badass, great representation. So whenever you hear someone say that women aren't being represented, just show them this. Huge representation here. Um, Sylvanas, she gets scared away by Ysera, and let me see. She says her famous, nothing lasts. She said the same thing to um the Horde, essentially, when after she killed Sour Fang, gave her a little speech about, all that crap. And before she flew away, she said, savor it, nothing lasts. And then she flew away. But and then Ysera turns into her night elf form to see if Tyrande is okay. And Tyrande is apparently in a state of shock, apparently, because she says, "Can you hear me?" I mean, I would be too. If I had my enemy's throat in my hand and I had the power to just kill them right there, but then the power just faded and that enemy got away, I'd be pretty pissed off too. I'd be in a state of shock. I'd be like, I had them. They were right there. My hands around their fucking neck, and I could have snapped it. But like I said, plot armor. Sylvanas is not going to be taken out by anyone apart from possibly us, or she's going to sacrifice herself somehow. People are saying that she's going to sacrifice herself to stop the jailer. I mean, would it be a shame to see Sylvanas go? Of course. I've loved her character since the beginning. But, when you go back to like Warcraft 3 and see her character, um, and all the stuff that she's had to go through, um, you know, trying to cope with being undead, having to be a servant for Arthas for a short time, and having the strength to kind of resist enough to where she could find an opportunity to get her body back, and break that kind of control. And then after she beat Arthas, or after we beat Arthas, rather, actually, I mean, she had no sense of purpose anymore because that was her life. She wanted to watch the man who destroyed her life die. And so after that, she threw herself off the top of Ice Crown Citadel and impaled herself on a spike of Saronite. In which case she got to see the maw, which we didn't know it was a maw at the time, but she just said, it was described as like this hard place and darkness and creatures. Um, we find out she was the maw, and that's most likely where she met the jailer the first time. Um, but then everything after that she's had to deal with. So, leading all the way up to now, because people still think she's on the side of good, that she's kind of trying to prevent the jailer from accomplishing, because sometimes you can stop it by letting it go its natural course and by assisting it, but then kind of at the last second, it's like, okay, you have everything you need to change things, but I have a way to fuck that up for you. So she might sacrifice herself. Like I said, it'd be a shame, but and I know it would definitely divide the community because you have the hardcore Sylvanas uh, admirers who are like, oh my god, praise the Dark Lady watch over you, Banshee Queen is my lady, and all that. And then you have the other side, it's like, fuck Sylvanas, fuck her. Um, so it would be a shame to lose Sylvanas, but if it makes sense story wise, like Sourfang, same thing with him. When we lost Sourfang, did it hurt? Yeah, because you had spent the entirety of an expansion with this guy. And he's like popping up everywhere, and you're doing quests with him and for him, and then all of a sudden he dies. But it makes sense story wise. He did it for a reason. He knew he was going to die. In fact, it's a self-sacrifice. He wanted to prove a point, and he did. So if she dies, as long as it makes sense story wise, because sometimes they'll just do shit just to do it. I mean, look at freaking N'Zoth. The guy was hyped up for 10 fucking years, and then he gets taken out in a single raid. Come on. So, as long as it's well written, and, it does, I think it definitely has to be emotional, especially for a character like Sylvanas. Um, but as long as it's well written, I don't think people would mind whether you hate her or love her. I don't think they would mind seeing her go as long as it's well done. As long as she's given the respect that she deserves. Um, so even if the taking out of her is as brutal as possible. Say Tyrande does get her revenge, and say she does cut her head clean off. As long as it's more in a respectful way of, maybe like a back and forth, like, because Tyrande's heart's filled with rage right now. So even if, so if they did something like, I don't know, Sylvanas kind of not atoning, but trying to just kind of explaining why she did the things she did, you know, it'll make her more of a sympathetic character so that when it finally happens, she'll be like, wow, the end of a great character. Um, so, but that's just my opinion. Uh, Still, you got badass, just a badass fight. And the animation, the mouth movements, how it's so realistic. The team at Blizzard, say what you will about the story, say what you will about um, the game design, but when it comes to cinematics, when it comes to area design, zone design, raids, dungeons, the art team, the animation team, they are always on point. I can't think of a group of people that can make fairly simplistic looking models look so realistic because of the mouth movements. You can see her, when she talks, you can see your tongue moving the way it should when we talk. And it's only amplified when you get those really, really good cinematics where it looks so real that you're like, make a movie of this, please. Um, but you can see the way the face, the jaw moves, the cheeks, and everything, how it reacts for when they talk. It's just, it's so fucking badass. I mean, that's like the only word I can think of to describe it. It's badass. And that they're both fighting kind of like with war glaives. That's really, really cool. The particle effects, the lighting, the shading, just the scenery in general. You've got this gorgeous place essentially being conquered by death. A throwback to the Lich King, with Bolvar. Same trick with him, trying to wrap him up in those chains, but she's like, nope, not happening with me. She just busts out of that shit. And that cocky smile, she's like, oh, so your master didn't tell you. Just, oh my god. Like I said, in the last one with the glow effects, it's so simple and it works so well because you can see how simplistic and, you know, pretty just a solid color her skin is. But then you see her eyes and you got like the universe look, like a nebula and stuff like that. They're like little tiny balls of fury, stars of fury in her eyes. It's just, oh my god. Blizzard, when it comes to this stuff, they are the best. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.